Hey everybody, it's Angela, and I am back to do a mini album this time. And I am on the design team for scrapbookingwithme.com for the month of June. And I'm going to start off using this 6x6 paper stack, and it is called Sense of Nature. And I did a more in-depth share of all the papers in this collection in a previous video of the design team package that they sent me. So I'll put a link to that down below, so if you want to see each of the papers kind of up close and personal, you'll be able to do that. And you can see here I'm got a little white chipboard mini album. This was something I had gotten from the Michaels dollar bin probably about a year ago. But you could use any kind of chipboard album or just pieces of square chipboard. And I really like this album because it is 6x6, so I don't have to do much trimming on this. I can just go ahead and apply the papers directly on there, and I'm just rounding the corners to match the chipboard pages. So I am going to use kind of a recipe for this mini album and do all the interior pages pretty much the same. So I'm going to show first of all how I adhere the paper on one page so you can see how I do it. So I'm going to use this pink one for my front page, and I'm going to use some of this score tape. Now you can get this in the Scrapbooking with Me website as well, and I purchased it from them previously, and I like to use it because it's super sticky and it works really great getting right up to the edge and where it's going to be handled a lot. And then I use my Pioneer glue stick to glue down the interior of the piece of paper. So it's just this simple. We put the score tape around the edges, put a little glue stick in the middle, and then I can go ahead and adhere it on the page. And that's pretty much all there is to it. If you don't adhere it exactly even like I did here, you just pull out your X-Acto knife, trim it up. And I also went around my pages with an emery board. I went around the edges, and that just kind of cleans up the edges of anything that hangs over that I didn't get positioned perfectly. And there's the emery board, so I just take it around and just lightly sand the edges. And then I also take some Tim Holtz Distress Ink in Vintage Photo, and I'm going to go around the edge as well, and that just gives a nice shadow line. It kind of frames it and makes it look really finished and kind of professional. So I do that to all the pages, and then before I go and cover the other side, I just want to repunch my holes so that I don't accidentally cover them over and can't find them again. So that's all I'm going to do to each of the pages. So it works out really great, having it be 6x6. And I'm going to make my embellishments for this mini album, at least most of them. So I have these top note shapes that I've cut out with my die cut, a clock, some vines, some flowers, and these butterflies that I show here. That's the first time I've used this Tim Holtz die, and you can get it in the store as well. And I know I'm going to be using it for mini albums in the future, so it worked really great. And here it is up close. So I'll put a link to that down below. And then these others are older dies from my stash that I've gotten over the years, ones with little flowers in them. Those are from hot off the press. I have this vine die cut, more flowers, the clock. I think I got that at Tuesday Morning here pretty recently, and that was from Tuesday Morning as well. I have a bow die, more flowers, and the top note shapes. So I just went to town punching all of this out, and here are my pages all finished and done. And so now I can get to the embellishing part. And the other thing I'm going to use with this is the 49 and Market flowers and these Bow Bunny stamps that I got from Scrapbooking with Me as well. And so what I'm going to do is, before I start gluing anything down, I want to do a little bit of stamping in the background. So I'm just taking some pink ink and one of the Bow Bunny essential stamps. It's called Butterfly Kisses is the name of the stamp set. And I'm just going to lightly stamp a few of those butterflies in pink in the background just to add a little more texture. And then I'll use those butterflies throughout the whole album as well. So I'm going to put the clock on the front just to echo the clock motif that's already pre-printed in that flower cluster. And I like that those flower clusters are there. It kind of gives me a base on which to add to my own flowers. And you can see those sparkly paper flowers that I've put there in pink are from the 49 and Market, and they're just gorgeous. And so I wanted to use a couple of those on the bottom and then one up on the right hand corner. And they're really dimensional, so I want to put those on my cover. You could use them on the inside, but I just go ahead and use my die cut flowers for the inside pages, and I do these on the front cover, and then I'm saving more of them to do some of my mixed media 12 by 12 layouts. I'll be using more of those flowers. So I'm just taking my hot glue gun and putting on the flowers there and a few little vines. I think I use my glue stick to put the vines down. And I just love the hint of glitter on those flowers. They're just really pretty. And I pretty much use the whole 6x6 paper pad in this mini album, so it works out just perfect. I like on these butterfly dies that it has kind of that kind of skeleton leaf version of the butterfly that you can put on top, and then you can put another color below. It gives that two-tone, or you can use them on their own without layering them. So now I'm just going to move up to this top corner. Again, I wanted one of the 49 and Market flowers and then some of the die cut paper flowers up there as well. And I'm kind of staying with the pinks on this page, but there are a lot of purples and blues and greens in this collection. It is just really gorgeous, and all of it coordinates, so you don't have to worry. It's a collection pack, so you don't have to worry about colors not matching or going together. So I just go ahead and put that vine down and put the rest of my flowers on. And another item that was in my design team package was a bottle of liquid pearls in the blush. And I am going to use that for my flower centers. It's great not to have to, glue flat back pearls on. The liquid pearls just work so easily. And there's so many of them in a bottle. I mean, I'm going to get a lot of use out of this bottle. So you just kind of take it, and it's like enamel dots almost, and they just make perfect little dots. And I go ahead and I put them in the center of all my paper flowers here. And it's just that perfect extra little touch. And there you go. That is my front cover. I didn't put a title on it. I might put someone's name or something on it later once I figure out who I'm going to give this to. So for all my interior pages, I'm going to use kind of the same recipe. I'm going to put this little pocket at the bottom, which is 2 1/4 inches tall. And I'm going to put a piece of lace on the pocket and then put 2 tags. So I'm just using my fine line glue applicator with the Scotch tacky glue in it, and I'm using that just to glue the pocket and the piece of lace on there. And I might put some vintage photos in this and give it to my aunt. I might do this as a baby album. I don't know, there's a lot of things. It could be a nice little anniversary album. And there's the top note, and I'm going to use this as a tag. So there's going to be one of these, and then I went back to my die stash and I die cut some regular kind of shipping tags as well. And so each of the pockets is going to have a top note shape tag and a shipping tag in it. And I'm just inking the edges of everything. And then to use as kind of a pull on the top of the tag, I am just going to use my tiny attacher and staple on some little flowers, and that'll kind of be the top of my tag. And there's the shipping tag, and that's the die that I use by hot off the press, and it comes with the little reinforcer too. So I went ahead and made up a whole bunch of tags, one for each pocket. And then I'm going to put a bow. Instead of putting a fiber on the top of the tag, I used my bow die and just made a little bow, and I'm going to put that at the top of each tag. So that's going to be kind of my recipe right there for each different pocket. And then I'll just put a cluster of decorative flowers on the bottom of each pocket. And it turns out so cute. I like having pockets because to me, adhering the photos on a tag later is a little bit easier, and it's easier to pull the tag out and journal on it too, than to do it right in the book. I mean, you could put another photo on the back, you know, on the page kind of behind the pocket and stuff. But for me, it's just easier to put my photos right on the tag. So I like this formula from mini albums. So I just layered a couple flowers on top of a butterfly. And then I'm going to do pretty much all the pages the same way. And then I'll do a flip through and show you the completed album and then what I had left after I did the album. So here's what's left of my 6x6 paper pad. A few fussy cut items. I think I have 2 of them there. A couple of the smaller top note shapes. And then that little stack of flowers, vines, and bows. And that's all I pretty much have left. And they won't go to waste. I'm going to bag these up and I will use these with my 12 by 12 papers when I go to do some mixed media layouts. So I'm just going to bag those up so they don't get lost. And then I have scraps left and that I can actually probably die cut a few more flowers out of. So I'm going to save those for the moment and I'll show them here in a second. That is all I have left. I pretty much made Swiss cheese out of this whole paper stack. But you can see there's a few places there where I can get some little flowers out and maybe some tabs and some hearts or butterflies, some smaller butterflies. So I will not throw these away yet. I'm still going to go back through and get more die cuts out that I'll put in the bag, and then I'll put those with the 12 by 12 paper. So that is what I have left, and I was pretty happy about that. I won't have to store a paper pad or anything when I'm done. I will have used it all. So here is a flip through of the final album. And you can see I just put a few fibers there on the book ring. And then on the back, I used that paper with the bird cage and I just left that plain. And it's not super thick. You know, it's got a little bit of meat to it, but it's not overly chunky. So I like that. Let me just zoom in here a little bit. And you can see all the flowers and butterfly and the clock. The liquid pearls on there. And it's just gorgeous, this paper collection. And they have other collections besides just the Sense of Nature that have some other color themes. So it'd be worth taking a look in the store at the Scrapbooking with Me store. And there's also a Facebook page called Scrapbooking with Me Boutique. And I'll have links to all those down below. And of course, if you use AB10 when you order, you'll get a 10% discount off your purchase. And I will put that down in the description box as well. So I'm glad to be able to pass on a discount code for you guys. And isn't this just gorgeous? You can see I put some of the Bow Bunny stamps in the background there. And I just have 2 tags in each of the things. There's some more stamping on the back of that tag. Plenty of room for journaling and photos. And I can either put square and rectangular photos on these, or I could cut out my photos in the top note shapes. There I put some silhouettes of some flowers and then some more dimensional flowers on top of that silhouette. There's my 2 tags. I love that purple color. There's a little butterfly on the back of that one too. Again, there's one of the Tim Holtz butterflies with some flowers on top. There's one on the page, the purple page as well, stamped on there. Got some of that dark blue and the dark purple that's so pretty. It had been a while since I'd done anything kind of shabby chic, and so I really had fun doing this. This one's kind of got the blues and greens, another one of those floral silhouettes with flowers on top. Got 2 more tags. Plenty of room for journaling, photos. Could tuck more things into the pockets if they wanted. Here's 2 more tags, and I love those purple pansies on this one here with the clock. It's so pretty. Again, I use that butterfly punch on the back. And I like that this is more blues and some of them are more greens and purples, but they all coordinate together. I think this page here is probably my favorite with the dark blue pocket with the light lace and the purples and stuff on there. Just gorgeous. Look at that. My gosh, the paper is just gorgeous. I've got this pink page. A little pop of yellow on that bow that's on the tag. Little wishing well on there. Little pop of yellow on the back with a little bird's nest. Another one of the Bow Bunny stamps. And that is my completed album. I had so much fun working on this, and it was just a gorgeous paper collection to work with. And so yeah, take a look down below at all the links. Again, if you use AB10 at the store, scrapbookingwithme.com, you can get 10% off your purchase. And all the items that I use that you can get from her store will be linked below. And there's also will be a link to the blog and the YouTube and the members room and the online store and all that kind of good stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching, and be looking for some new projects here coming up this month. I've got 2 more coming. So if you have any questions or anything, just leave them below and I will talk to you later. Bye.